turning 70-meter-long, accurate passes into a regular occurrence, playing football with calmness and poise, and dominating the midfield with the demeanor of a true gentleman. All these traits sowed the seeds of passion in the hearts of fans. Once upon a time, there was a classic Xabi Alonso at Liverpool who embodied these qualities. These were the glorious years that etched into the memories of fans, showcasing Alonso's role as a player. And now, we continue to respect Coach Alonso, leading Bayer Leverkusen to a rampaging form. Watching Bayer Leverkusen control the game to crush their opponents, fans suddenly realize this is what Xabi Alonso is showcasing. During his peak years, Alonso was simply a master at controlling the game, not too fast, not too slow, but always perfectly timed. Playing in the deepest midfield position, surrounded by vast space, Xabi Alonso still controlled everything in the most graceful way. Watching Alonso play, you never saw him frantically chasing the ball. He controlled the midfield with a composed demeanor. He embodied Pirlo's famous quote, "Football is played with the head. The feet are just a tool." During his nearly 20-year career, Xabi Alonso made his mark from sunny Spain to foggy England, and eventually to Germany at the end of his career. He played for Real Sociedad, Liverpool, Real Madrid, and Bayern Munich. But if you had to pick a chapter of his career that was most unforgettable, most thrilling, people would undoubtedly remember his years at Liverpool. It might not have been his peak in terms of performance, but it was the most passionate version of Xabi Alonso in his youth. Just 5 years at Anfield were enough to turn him into a club legend, earning him the passionate love of all Liverpool fans. On August 20th, 2004, Real Sociedad announced they had reached an agreement with Liverpool for a $11 million deal for Xabi Alonso. Later on, the Spanish player recounted that historic day. "I still remember that day vividly. Rafa called me and said he really wanted me in the team. He spent an entire hour explaining the project he was pursuing at Liverpool. Benitez needed me in the central midfield to share the load with Gerrard and Didi Hamann. The Premier League is a tough competition, so the idea was that the team needed a midfielder who could control the ball. In his very first season at Liverpool, the former captain of Real Sociedad quickly became a new idol among fans. The 2004-2005 season saw a rather strange Liverpool. Not exceptionally outstanding, but somehow they still reached the top. They finished 5th in the Premier League but made it to the Champions League final that year. Before that, Xabi and his teammates finished 2nd in their group. But in the knockout stage, they continuously defeated formidable opponents, surprising everyone. On the night of May 25, 2005, all eyes were on the Olympic Stadium in Istanbul, where the Champions League final was held between Liverpool and AC Milan. AC Milan was overwhelmingly strong at that time, as many fans still vividly remember. Even today, people still get goosebumps when they look at the AC Milan lineup for that final. Every single position was filled with legends. Maldini's opening goal and Hernan Crespo's double had given the Italian team a 3-0 lead by halftime. It was a nightmarish scenario that everyone feared for Liverpool that day. As soon as the halftime whistle blew, the newcomer, Xabi Alonso, quickly headed into the tunnel, seemingly preparing for something. And then the magical night in Istanbul, the most incredible and unbelievable comeback in Champions League history, officially began in the second half. In the 54th and 56th minutes, Liverpool quickly scored twice, reducing the deficit to 2-3. Everything happened so fast, with some strange events that no one could have anticipated. The defining moment came in the 60th minute when Liverpool was awarded a penalty after Steven Gerrard was fouled. Everyone was surprised to see that the person stepping up to take the crucial penalty was Xabi Alonso, the newly signed player, instead of Captain Gerrard. If Alonso failed, it would have been a disaster. His first shot was saved by Dida, but the Brazilian goalkeeper couldn't do much about the rebound. In his excitement, Alonso ran off to celebrate, and he couldn't escape the embraces of his Liverpool teammates. They celebrated like children. The Cop fans were screaming at the top of their lungs, their hearts bursting with joy. Xabi Alonso's equalizing goal sent the match into extra time, and Liverpool went on to win the Champions League title after a dramatic penalty shootout. They had turned the impossible into possible, and the hero of Liverpool that day was the newcomer, Xabi Alonso. The fans looked up to the sky and silently thanked God for bringing such a precious gem to Anfield, a player who played a crucial role in helping them win the Champions League for just 11 million. After the Champions League win in the 2004-2005 season, the following seasons weren't as successful for Xabi in terms of trophies. However, everyone continued to follow the journey of the Spanish midfielder because they knew that watching him play football was a privilege. If you were a devoted Liverpool fan, you certainly wouldn't forget the two classic long-range goals against Luton Town and Newcastle United that Xabi Alonso scored in England. People called it the magic of a magician, or the artistic quality of a poet. He used the ball as a tool to create masterpieces. In 2 consecutive seasons, Alonso turned 2 unfortunate goalkeepers into clowns by scoring 2 spectacular goals from the halfway line. The goal against Newcastle in the 2006-2007 season was officially recorded as the longest goal in the history of the Premier League, measuring 58 meters. After just 2 touches, the Liverpool player decided to take a shot from the center circle. Xabi later revealed, "In the Luton game, the ball bounced a few times, but in this game, it went straight into the net. I prefer this one." To this day, fans still get emotional when they talk about Alonso's stunning goals. They even compare them to David Beckham's classic goal against Wimbledon. It doesn't matter which one was more beautiful. Liverpool fans are just proud of Alonso and the magic he brought to the Premier League. He amazed everyone with his accurate long passes from 70 to 80 meters, mesmerizing viewers with his composed and gentlemanly demeanor. The best thing about Alonso was how everything he did seemed effortless and graceful, playing football as if it were art. Manchester United had the great Paul Scholes, Chelsea boasted about Frank Lampard, but Liverpool had Xabi Alonso at that time. When talking about Alonso, people referred to him as the best deep-lying playmaker in history, a player with comprehensive and world-class passing skills. If there was one defining quality, it had to be his ability to control the game's tempo. "Xabi Alonso is like a metronome," was the famous comment from Jose Mourinho about the Spanish player. Pep Guardiola noted, "He brings the right tempo to the field, something only midfielders with his skill can do." Liverpool experienced their glory years with Xabi Alonso. They reached the pinnacle of European football with the crucial penalty from the newly arrived summer signing. Everyone thought it was fate that Alonso and the cop would be together for life. But as people often say, the most beautiful love is the one that ends abruptly. The fun at Anfield ended in the summer of 2009. Liverpool stunned everyone by deciding to sell their hero. Xabi Alonso joined Real Madrid for $30 million. The reason was said to be due to Rafa Benitez's decision to give that position to someone he believed could contribute more to the team's goal production, even though Xabi Alonso didn't want to leave. His 5 years at Anfield might have been short, but the charming midfielder brought Liverpool 4 titles. 1 European Super Cup, 1 FA Cup, 1 Community Shield, and the most significant, the Champions League trophy. In midfield, Xabi Alonso, together with Mascherano, formed one of the best central midfield duos in the history of the Premier League. The style of football Alonso brought to the game changed perceptions of football in England. People no longer got excited only by fierce tackles and powerful headers, but also appreciated graceful and elegant football. Liverpool fans called him a legend, even though he only played for the Cop for 5 years. The 4 trophies at Anfield never truly captured the significance of Xabi Alonso or the magic he created in England. At Liverpool, the Spanish football star worked with Rafa Benitez. At Real Madrid, he was a student of Jose Mourinho and Carlo Ancelotti. And at Bayern Munich, he was coached by Pep Guardiola. So it's no surprise that we see how well Xabi Alonso performs as a coach. From a player to a coach, his journey has been admirable for the once dashing midfielder. Everything is just at the beginning chapter, with more greatness ahead, waiting for the gentleman Xabi Alonso to conquer.